So my parents, God bless them, they would support me in almost literally every way. Every once in a while they pay my car note, pay my rent. I remember this to this day. I swear to God, I had this is before Gerald Austin Clinic, and so I was 24, I believe. I was 24 years old. I was sitting in the parking lot in Melissa, Texas, about to go work at varsity boys and girls game, and I needed help paying my rent. And I called my dad and like, hey, short this month, taking care of it, da da da. He's like, yeah, sure, sure, but listen, son, we can't be doing this all the time anymore.
Yeah, we got to come to this. We need to talk.
Yeah, and my parents, they make a good living, but you never want to feel like you're a burden to your family, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, well, damn, bro, I put 5 years in this, and I'm not working, I'm not in the Big 12 for basketball, I'm not in the SEC or whatever, so maybe it's just not for me. So I was like, cool, whatever. That was Tuesday. That Wednesday, I went to the Army recruitment office, right? And then I got all my stuff, paperwork. I would have signed on the dotted line, but I only
Cause
had
the
one
ass
form of
Bab.
identification. Yeah, I only have one form of identification. I have two. I have my driver's license, but you have to bring a social security card, birth certificate, or something with that or whatever, right? I was like, cool. Like, you know what? I'm flying out to Miami tomorrow for Gerald Austin's clinic. When I get back on Tuesday, you'll see me. You know what I mean? Blah, blah. Keep on, I'm not working anything. So I'm like, whatever, forget it, man. Long story short, I go out there and I get hired in the Lone Star and get picked up in the MEAC supplemental. I was like, well, damn, guess I'm not joining the military now.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. You applaud that? We lost a soldier, Monty. What's he talking about?
No, but what's classic is you were one secondary idea away from your life being totally different than what it is today.
Absolutely.
You could have been a colonel.
It just a lot of the stuff is just a lot of the job is luck
Yeah.
and opportunity, man, being there and taking advantage of those opportunities when you do get them.
Right.
Even Kobe was a great example. I was fortunate to work. Oh shoot, I think 6 games in the Big 12 that year, and it wasn't in positions I never worked. I worked umpire and center judge. I never worked those a day in my life. And sorry, Mr. Burks, if you're listening, but what's what happened was he called me and he was like, "Hey, look, only people who have antibodies are allowed to fly right now, and we need an umpire. Have you ever worked umpire?" I'm like,
Sure
"Yeah,
have.
I worked umpire. Yeah,
Yeah.
I I ain't never touched the umpire position one time in my life. I ain't stupid. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
she's like, great. Hey, look, you have Army, Navy, or you have Navy, BYU next week. Good luck. Got on the phone with Michael Cooper. Michael Cooper, thank God, great person. One of my favorite people,
Ooh.
man.
Good, cool.
Gave me a crash course on how to do it, and I'm working, I think 3 or 4 games as a umpire in the Big 12, and another one as a center judge and all that. Never worked those positions in my life, but opportunity came up, and I was prepared mentally. I felt I was ready, and took advantage of it, man. And that's just really what this job is. I think every
Okay,
every every guy has a story like that. It's in some form
hold
of
up.
fashion.
How quick
That's
was it? How quick was you on Smitty Championship trying to order that shirt? Umpire shirt.
No lie, man. I was panicking, but yeah, no. Fortunately, they hooked us up and they took care of it. I was more worried about my tailor fit in the end. You know what I mean?
Oh Lord, see, he tried.
He's on the Smitty, straight out the jump. You couldn't even make one game.
You couldn't
Hey,
do
bro,
off the rack for
listen,
one, huh?
I can't do off the rack.
hey, baby, that was my first time on primetime television, man. What you talking about? I went from
I
Okay,
heard that.
Plus to ESPN, dog. What you talking
okay.
about?
You went from plus to rack.
Cash, Norman. Take cash, Norman.
Went from the
Exactly.
app to actual TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy. That's crazy. I mean, it's cool to hear somebody that, just right place, right time, but was grinding. I mean, a young person that was sticking to it and, it all worked out.